The list of the world's richest persons can vary from year to year, depending on their latest net worth and financial performance. In 2020, there were reportedly 2,095 billionaires on Earth, with an estimated total net worth of $8 trillion. Of this amount, the top 10 wealthiest people in the world account for $1,128.50 billion, or roughly 14.11%, which is impressive when you consider that they represent around 0.48% of billionaires. Dan Moskowitz wrote the top 10 richest people at the Investopedia website. Elon Musk. The current richest man in the world, Elon Musk has had his hands in several different companies over the years. Originally enrolled at Stanford University, Musk deferred his attendance to launch Zip2, one of the earliest online navigation services. A portion of the proceeds from this endeavor were then reinvested to create XCOM, an online payment system that later became PayPal. While both of these systems were eventually sold to other companies, Musk has maintained his status as CEO and lead designer of his third project, Space Exploration Technologies, SpaceX, which aims to make space exploration more affordable. In 2004, Musk became a major funder of Tesla Motors, which led to him being retroactively declared a co-founder and his current position as CEO of the electric vehicle company. In 2020, Tesla's stock price experienced an astronomical surge, having risen 705% from the start of the year to mid-December. It joined the S&P 500 that same month, the largest company added thus far. Jeff Bezos. In 1994, Jeff Bezos founded Amazon.com in a garage in Seattle, shortly after he resigned from the hedge fund giant D.E. Shaw. In fact, he had originally pitched the idea of an online bookstore to his former boss David E. Shaw, who wasn't interested. Though Amazon.com originally started out selling books, it has since morphed into a one-stop shop for everything under the sun and is arguably the world's largest retailer. At any rate, it is hard to dispute its self-description as the Earth's most customer-centric company. In 2020, Amazon's share price skyrocketed on the heightened demand for online shopping as lockdowns forced consumers to stay home. Bill Gates. While attending Harvard University in 1975, Bill Gates went to work alongside his childhood friend Paul Allen to develop new software for the original microcomputers. Following this project's success, Gates dropped out of Harvard in his junior year and went on to found Microsoft with Allen. In addition to being the largest software company in the world, Microsoft also produces its own line of personal computers, publishes books through Microsoft Press, provides email services through its Exchange server, and sells video game systems and associated peripheral devices. In 2000, Gates' two philanthropic organizations, the William H. Gates Foundation and the Gates Learning Foundation, were merged to create the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, of which he and his wife, Melinda Gates, are co-chairs. Through the foundation, he has spent billions to fight polio and malaria. Additionally, he pledged $50 million in 2014 to help fight Ebola. In 2020, the foundation promised to spend $300 million to combat the COVID-19 pandemic. Bernard Arnault. French national Bernard Arnault is the chairman and CEO of LVMH, the world's largest luxury goods company. This business owns some of the biggest brands on earth, including Louis Vuitton, Hennessy, Marc Jacobs, Sephora, and many more. The majority of his wealth, however, actually comes from his massive stake in Christian Dior SE, the holding company that controls 41.2% of LVMH. Mark Zuckerberg. He first developed Facebook alongside fellow students Eduardo Saverin, Dustin Moskovitz, and Chris Hughes while attending Harvard University in 2004. As Facebook began to be used at other universities, Zuckerberg dropped out of Harvard to focus entirely on his growing business. Today, Zuckerberg is the CEO and chairman of Facebook, which had more than 2.7 billion monthly active users as of Q3 2020. Warren Buffett. The most famous living value investor, Warren Buffett filed his first tax return in 1944 at age 14, declaring his earnings from his boyhood paper route. He first bought shares in a textile company called Berkshire Hathaway in 1962, becoming the majority shareholder by 1965. He expanded the company to insurance and other investments in 1967. Now Berkshire Hathaway is a $500 billion company with a single share of stock trading at more than $350,000 per share in early 2021. Zhong Shanshan. Despite making his fortune in the beverage industry, he originally got his start in the workforce as a construction worker before becoming a reporter during the 1980s. Later, as a beverage sales agent, he went on to establish a bottled water distributing business in Hainan. Zhang founded his first business, health products company Yingshengtang, in 1993. 3 years later, Zhang founded Nongfu Spring, a bottled water manufacturer, though it would later expand to other beverage products, such as coffee, and food products, like rice and yogurt. By 2012, Nongfu Spring had become the largest bottled water company in all of China. In 2019, it became one of the top 3 producers of bottled tea and juice in the Chinese market. Larry Page. Like several tech billionaires on this list, his claim to fame got its start in a college dorm room. While attending Stanford University in 1995, Page and his friend Sergey Brin came up with the idea of improving data extraction capabilities while accessing the internet. The duo devised a new type of search engine technology they dubbed Backrub, named after its ability to analyze backing links. From there, Page and Brin went on to found Google in 1998, with the former serving as CEO of the company until he stepped down in 2001. Sergey Brin. What makes Google unique, compared to the other companies featured on this list, is that its co-founders are relatively close in terms of total wealth. Sergey Brin's involvement in Google follows a similar path to Page's. After the duo founded in the company in 1998, Brin served as co-president alongside Page until Eric Schmidt took over as CEO in 2001. In addition to being a highly popular search engine, Google also offers a suite of online tools and services known as Google Workplaces, which includes Gmail, Google Drive, Google Calendar, Google Meet, Google Chat, Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Slides, and more. In addition to software, Google also deals in a wide variety of electronic devices, including its Pixel smartphones, its Pixelbook computers and tablets, its Nest smart home devices, and its Stadia gaming platform. Larry Ellison. After dropping out of the University of Chicago in 1966, he moved to California and worked as a computer programmer for several companies over the years. First, in 1973, he was an employee of the electronics company Ampex, where he met his future partners Ed Oates and Bob Miner. 3 years later, Ellison joined Precision Instruments, serving as the company's vice president of research and development. By 1977, Ellison had founded Software Development Laboratories, SDL, alongside Oates and Miner, which, 2 years later, released Oracle, the first commercial relational database program to utilize structured query language. The database program proved so popular that SDL would change its name to Oracle Systems Corporation in 1982. Additionally, Ellison joined Tesla's board in December 2018.